Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. Thanks so much for all of the great comments from my kind of special video that I did revisiting Antietam, talking a little bit about the importance of being more aggressive and how that affects the amount of men that the enemy has. So it is with that mindset then that I come into the Battle of Corinth. This is the Confederate campaign on Ultimate General Civil War, Brigadier General difficulty, version 0.95 of the game. And of course, since the most recent updates, there's definitely an advantage to being more aggressive on the battlefield, which is not an easy thing for me because I have always been one who fights more conservatively for the sake of conserving my army. My attitude has always been, especially in the smaller battles, win the battle, lose as few men as possible. But that doesn't work anymore with this new version of the game. So the object then is to destroy as much of the enemy army as possible while preserving your own. So going into this battle, this is 15 brigades you can take in. It's an assault. The enemy's got 21,000 soldiers, 72 guns. I've got about 26,000 and 110. I've decided to take in only 9 brigades of infantry, 1 unit of sharpshooters, and 5 batteries of artillery, and they're all either 10-pounders or 24-pounders. And I'll explain why I decided to go with so much artillery. In this battle, he's got this, his right flank is in the woods and heavily fortified. The left flank's kind of out in the open, and that's where the objective is. So I'm basically going to build my line right here, and anything more than 9 brigades of infantry is just really kind of a waste that I wouldn't be able to effectively use them, so I decided I'd bring in as much artillery as possible. So, the attitude then is not just to win the battle, but to destroy as much of his army as possible while doing that. Now, I believe he's going to be up here pretty close, so I really can't advance all that far here. I'm going to put 3 brigades right here, just to kind of keep him honest. The sharpshooters I'm going to send all the way around to the other side. And then the artillery I'm just going to start bringing up into position where they can start firing. And once I see where he is set up, I can start to formulate my strategy for how I want to go in. But basically my idea is to build right here and then get around his flank with my sharpshooters and to just start causing these units to fall back and eventually break through and then try to corner him down here and crush as much of his army as I can. We'll see how that works. Of course, Corinth was a city in northern Mississippi that was heavily fought over. I think of Winchester in the east, in Virginia. This is a city that both sides recognized of strategic importance. It was a vital rail hub for the Confederacy, sometimes referred to as the crossroads of the Confederacy. So it was important to both sides to hold Corinth. Oh, here he comes. So I guess we'll just kind of build right here for now until we can start fighting him. Oh, I better get my general over there. So if Hackelman wants to come up here into the woods, or up the middle, then I'll just shoot at him from the woods here. And he's going to come under some severe artillery fire. I don't think he's going to last very long there. Yeah, that didn't last very long. Alright, so now the sharpshooters I'll bring around here and try to get on the flank. Basically, I'm just going to start leapfrogging the artillery here. So a few are firing and a few are moving at any given time. I'll bring one unit of 10-pounders over to my left. So he's lost 500 men. I've lost about 300 so far. I gotta be careful here. I don't want my sharpshooters getting fired on by an entire brigade of infantry. I don't think Fuller's going to last too long right here. So hopefully I can get my skirmishers and my sharpshooters up here and start firing on his artillery soon. All right, here he's getting some reinforcements. I gotta shift over here. Just to cover my left flank from any attack that might come that direction. Alright. Let's keep moving up. Keep putting the pressure on. Alright, we're going to start getting in range of his artillery here in a minute. Get some volleys on those guys. Get them out of there. Just got to be careful now because I'm starting to get to the place where I'm going to be out in the open and more exposed to his artillery fire. He's got 2 brigades of infantry, pretty big ones over here, plus some cavalry. Looks like the Orphan Brigade's holding up pretty well over here so far. Now let's start moving up some of this artillery. Oh, Texas Brigade, get turned around, guys. Alright, I gotta move up. His artillery's hitting me pretty hard here with some canister fire. I'm being cautious, but I mean, the goal is still to try and inflict as many casualties and eventually destroy his army as much as possible. So at some point I'll have to get a little more aggressive. This may not be a bad time to do that, as he's got all this artillery up in front here. Start pushing forward. Though I gotta be cautious because he's got some more infantry back here. I think we're solid up here on my left flank. Orphan Brigade's holding just fine. I want to keep my artillery close as much as I can. Alright, Wharton, hold up. Hold up, dude. Orphan Brigade has not lost a... they're just now starting to lose some men. I want to try and take out these batteries. He's trying to reoccupy this fortification here. That's interesting. Alright, Texas Brigade, don't get too far ahead of yourself. This is probably about as far as I want to advance, just for the sake of keeping my army intact. He's trying to get up over and hit my artillery up here. It's not going to work. He'll get routed before he gets too many casualties caused. I'm going to need to resupply here a little bit. Hold up, Douglas. Yeah, this is about as far as I think I'll advance. He's lost over 5,000 men. I've lost almost 3. I don't think Sullivan's going to last too much longer there. He's lost all of his guns. I should probably press this. Alright, so let's see what happens here with the time I have left. I don't know if this is one of those battles that it'll allow me to continue after the time's up. Some battles allow that, some don't. If it does, I'll certainly continue the fight as long as I can. There we go. Now Wharton can turn on Oliver. Alright, let's just try and cause some more casualties here. That's really the only goal at this point. I long since grabbed the objective. Not going to let me do it. It ended as soon as the timer ticked out. Alright, so 3,700 casualties for me. Almost 7,000 for him. The important thing here was that I basically took out all of his guns. Now, whether that translates into captured guns or not, we'll see. Yes, captured 15 10-pounder Parrots. That's a good day's work. You like to see that. Captured over 1,300 1855s, a few Sharps, which I don't really use a whole lot anyway. So, not a lot there to write home about, but came out with a promotion of Brigadier General and no officers lost. None of my units did real bad. Cobb's Legion took the majority of the hit there. But all in all, good day. We'll see how it affects the overall forces for the Union at this point. 5,400 more recruits. They basically gives the Democrats Party more arguments to use against our prosecution of this war. So he's still at about 103 to 108,000, so I didn't really do any great damage to his numbers there. I doubt that'll happen until after Fredericksburg. But we do have one more fight coming up here at Prairie Grove, which I think only allows 12 brigades. Yep. But I'll be on the defensive in this one, so basically what I'll do is I'll probably just pop out one or two of my infantry brigades and maybe one battery, and then we'll see how that goes. So I'll certainly probably be outnumbered there. I don't know. It'll be pretty even numbers again, but this time I'll be on the defensive, and that'll make a difference for sure. Yeah. I'm going to go training here because I'm going to probably be spending more money on veteran troops as we go along. That one stayed at 2 stars even though I did all rookies, so that worked out nicely. In fact, most of these units looks like I'm going to be able to get away with rookie and not really affect things too much. This is a 1-star unit, so I'll go veterans there. Same with my artillery. I'll probably drop the sharpshooters out on this one. We'll drop Cobb's Legion out. That gets me down to 13. And we'll drop these 10-pounders out. So this is probably the force I'll go with into this next battle. Although I might want some smooth bores since this is a defensive battle. I'll think some about that. Let me know your thoughts. Should I bring in some Napoleons instead of all 10-pounders and 24-pounders? Or am I better off to go with these long-range ones? Something to think about going into this next battle before Fredericksburg. But otherwise, this is what I'm looking at. We'll see how we match up. The only question is, what type of guns do I take? But numbers-wise, this is what I'm looking at. Pretty even. He'll have a slight advantage in numbers. But if I remember right, this is a really good defensive position, Prairie Grove. You can create some nice fields of fire. So, there you have it. As always, I welcome your input, your observations, your comments, your criticisms, any and all things. Keep those things coming. Great discussions. I've learned a lot. Hopefully you've learned a few things from what other people have said as well. And if you'd hit that thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.